I was 32 years old, and it was one of those fall days where the sun is warm and the air is crisp. My heart felt heavy, and all I wanted to do was sleep and escape my own mind. But instead, I took myself to the local muni golf course and thought I'd play a round of 9. I was in love with a man who called me the love of his life, but he'd disappear for days and give me the silent treatment. It was a painful cycle, and it gave me an unshakable pit in my stomach. And to add to matters, I had started a magazine called Furnish, like Auto Trader, but with furniture. And I was drowning. I was green in business, and I had wasted a ton of money that I didn't have on useless consultants. That day, I sat at the picnic table near the tee waiting for my turn, feeling the weight of the world and feeling like a complete loser. I was so much in my own mind that I didn't realize anybody was near, and I looked up and saw an older man sitting at the far end of the table. He glanced over and said, "Mind if I sit here?" I nodded, "No, go ahead." We sat silently for a while. Then he spoke up. "You look sad. Everything okay?" I thought I'd hidden it well, but he saw right through me. I couldn't hold back the tears, and shaking my head, I muttered, "No, life's pretty rough right now." He looked at me with kind eyes and said, "Do you want to tell me about it?" I wasn't in the habit of sharing my troubles with strangers, but something about him felt safe. I gave him the quick version, how I was pouring my heart into everything, but life just wasn't giving anything back. He listened, he consoled, and when I finished, he asked, "Do you mind if I tell you a story?" Tears still streaming down my face, I nodded yes. He began. "I never graduated from high school. I've been a janitor all my life, but I've lived like a king. When I was young, life was hard. My parents fought, and I wasn't the smartest kid. I knew I wanted a simple life, nothing fancy, just steady. One day my parents were fighting, and I prayed. I didn't go to church, read a Bible, but that day I prayed. And like a billboard flashing in my mind, I saw 2 words: expect miracles. It wasn't just the words, he said. It was a feeling, like butterflies of excitement and a knowing, a steady knowing. I wrote those words down on a piece of paper and read them every morning. From that moment on, I just lived with the feeling of expecting miracles, he said. I'd think about what I wanted, follow my intuition, and then took action when it felt right. I've flown on jets, married the love of my life, and even went to a Masters golf tournament, a lifelong dream. He paused for a moment. Then he turned to me, and his gentle eyes had an intensity. He said, "Melissa, I want you to go home and write expect miracles. I can tell you work hard. I can tell you push yourself. But you don't see your own grace. You don't believe you can have everything you want without constantly proving yourself." Right then, my name was called for the tee. I got up and waved at the guy. And I heard in my mind, "Melissa, expect miracles." I turned back to thank him, but he was gone, vanished without a trace. I looked everywhere, and he was nowhere. A chill ran through me. I teed up. I played golf. I went home, and I wrote expect miracles on a sticky note and placed it on my mirror. Thank you for listening. I have a few more stories to tell, and in story number 8 is when I will give those 1,000 gifts away. But in the meantime, could you do me a favor and share this with as many people as possible? If you did that, that would be so awesome. And stay tuned for story number 3.